Hey, how's it going? Checking it in with updates for today. And I was just sitting here, I've just been through my Toastmasters contest speech again and recorded it so I can watch it back and look for any other little bits that I can play around with and change. And I was thinking, well, what am I going to talk about in my update today? What have I done today? I looked at my planner just to remind myself. And this is the problem with doing a lot of remote speaking because I presented this morning, like I had a 90-minute presentation, workshop, masterclass, whatever, on stress and stresses, which actually went really well. I was a little nervous about it, to be honest, going into it. A little stressed, maybe you might say, in a positive way. And I was able to sort of manage and ride that out. But it was just funny sitting there thinking about what have I done today, when normally that would be like all I would do in a day. If this was going to a location and delivering a presentation or giving a speech or a keynote, then there's no way I'd forget that. But for a moment there, I was thinking, what have I done today? I haven't really done very much. I've recorded a podcast this afternoon. I've done a bit of writing. I've been through my Toastmaster speech a couple of times. What else have I done? Of course, yes, I have did this presentation. So it was a new presentation, or certainly a new format. And one thing that I did differently compared with previous outings or similar sessions was to, when we had a breakout room, let me kind of back up, I'm a bit all over the place today. It was a 90-minute session. We spent about 50 minutes or so, 55 minutes, talking about the stress response. I was going into some of the physiology, the biology, the neurochemistry of stress and what happens in real time, in the moment that you're experiencing stress inside your body and your brain, the effects of that on the medium term and the long term. And then we looked at some ways to sort of push back against that stress response as well. So loads of kind of actionable content on how to mitigate the harmful effects and the performance diminishing effects of stress. But then pretty much the second half of the session was all about stressors, the things that cause stress in the first place. Now, obviously in work, you can't stop stress, and that's not the purpose or the point of what we were trying to achieve today. But what I wanted them to do was to get into breakout rooms of 5, 6 or 7 people and have discussions of some of the things that are happening in the organization at the moment that may be causing unnecessary stress, whether it's around meetings or people not doing what they say they're going to do, or communication, whatever it is, whatever those things are, have a discussion about this. And so I normally, when I do breakout rooms in a group like this, will do maybe 7 to 10 minutes. And I always feel a little bit twitchy sitting there while they're all in their breakout rooms thinking, but what if they're not discussing what they should be discussing? What if they haven't understood and now they're out there and I'm in here and they're going to come back and say, well, we didn't really get anything out of that because we didn't know what we should be doing. So that's probably one of the reasons why I've always kept them quite short. In a room, I'd be going around table to table. I'd be saying, how are you getting on? Any questions? People would catch my eye. They'd bring me over. So what I did today, and this is based on something that a tip. It's not really a tip, it's such an obvious thing to do, but something I got from chatting to Jack on Wednesday. I mentioned about that in a previous video. He said when he does breakout rooms, he goes into the rooms for a couple of minutes just to see how people are getting on. I thought, well, okay, I'll give that a go. So I set it for 15 minutes, longer than normal room, and I went into each of the 4 rooms just for literally a couple of minutes, quite close to the beginning or sort of towards the end for the last one, to find out how they were getting on, listen into some of the things they were talking about, and it was brilliant. They were all getting into it, they were all having a discussion, and in fact, when we came out the other side, a couple of them said they actually really could have done with being in those breakout rooms for a little bit longer, and everybody's heads were nodding. So that's a huge lesson for me, really, really kind of valuable. I've got another couple of sessions that are similar coming up, and as long as I can be really clear about what the intention of the breakout room is, if I get into the rooms, spend a couple of minutes in there, then I'll be satisfied that they know what they're doing, they're on the right track, and then I can increase the length of time that the breakout rooms are running for, which is, I think, one of the most valuable things that we can do in these masterclasses, so that the onus is on them to come up with their own challenges, their own ideas, their own things that they can commit to doing to move forwards. So that was a really good learning experience for me. Can't believe that I actually forgot even momentarily that I did that this morning, because it was the main focus of the day. It was 90 minutes this morning plus prep time at the beginning. So a good couple of hours there. But hey, that's That's the thing for online, I guess. And hopefully we'll be back in person presenting from September with some of the Gen Healthy Minds sessions, and probably some of my own direct work as well, which is exciting. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But there's my check-in and update for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Give it a like. Subscribe to the channel and check back in again tomorrow for another daily update. Bye for now.